Antonius Mizaldus de Sphaera Mundi, Episode 11. Again, in dactylic hexameter, a era fi nitimum consumeret impiger ignis, non tempesti vas pluvias de mitteret aer. Nuda fordret tellus aequor quex tingueret ignem, with an elision here between aequorque and extingueret. Aut igni potius pisco saresceret aequor, with an elision here also between piscosum and aresceret. These 4 lines continue with some of the contrafactuals that were mentioned in the previous episode. The student will have to go back to episode number 10 and study the context there. Here he says, Mizaldus says, the rapid fire, impiger ignis. So piger means sluggish or lazy. Impiger is the privative of that. The rapid fire, and here's our subject in the masculine singular nominative, would consume, would eat up the finitimum, the finite or the limited air, aera. Now this may look like an unusual accusative, but what this is from the Greek word that's adapted, aer, and it's a masculine singular accusative. And so that ending in the short a there, that's a Greek accusative. This is not to be confused with ice, the third declension Latin noun that's neuter, ice iris, and means bronze, but it's easy to confuse them. We also have here, note, an imperfect subjunctive from third conjugation verb consumo, consumere. So that's one of the things that would happen. The air, aer, would not, the air would not release, demitterat, would not release its stormy tempestivas, its stormy rainfalls, tempestivas pluvias. So here we have aer in the nominative as the subject, and we have the object as pluvias modified by tempestivas, and so these are feminine plural accusative. Again, an imperfect subjunctive, demitteret, from de and mitto, to let down or to release. We go on to the third line. If that were the case, the land, the earth, tellus, and this is a feminine singular nominative, the earth would be barren, nuda. So foret is also an imperfect subjunctive. It is from futurum esse, used here to indicate a future idea within the context of a past tense. So the earth would remain barren. We can deduce the gender of tellus, notice feminine, from the adjective which modifies it, nuda. It's a third declension, tellus. Telluris is the genitive. Tellus, telluris, like so, and as I said, it's feminine. Then he goes on and says, and the aequor, that's the sea would extinguish, would snuff out the fire. So here we had ignis as subject, now we have ignem as object. We had aera as object, now we have aer as subject. Notice there's quite a bit of complexity here in how these elements are mingling together. Aequor is a neuter noun. It's third declension, ignem, third declension, masculine object. Now we get to the last line of this selection, or, here's a possibility, or instead, aut potius, perhaps the fish-filled piscosum, the fish-filled sea, piscosum aequor, that's a neuter singular and nominative, or perhaps the fish-filled sea, aresceret, would dry up, would go dry from that fire, igni, here in the ablative. This form ignis, this noun, has 2 common ablatives, igne and igni. The poet can use either at his discretion. Each is masculine and singular. So we have again, consumeret, demitteret, extingueret, aresceret. All of these imperfects here about the same place, if not the exact same place, metrically in their line, and foret here, another one placed at the beginning of the line for variety. If you enjoyed that little video lesson, please go ahead and subscribe for us, click the bell and so forth. Check out the other videos on this page, leave a comment, and please be sure to check out our Patreon page as well.